Alright, guys, I've been pissing off a lot of people lately, and I think it's time that I piss off some more people, so here goes. You know, a lot of conservatives want to deport all the illegal aliens, which I'm all for, don't get me wrong, but I think we can make things a little bit more interesting. Now, listen to this. We know that immediately after we start deporting the first few so-called families of illegal aliens to their respective countries, there will be a lot of videos and outcry and outrage from the liberals and in the media of how evil and nasty and terrible this is, and it'll become immediately unpopular. So, mm, you know, it's not really going to work that easy. Now, of course, you could choose to ignore it, but, might triggers a lot of, protests and so on and so forth, which, again, it makes it much more harder to win in 2028. So, this is what I'm suggesting. Instead of immediately deporting them, first we should send them to the liberal, well off, affluent towns like Martha's Vineyard and such. You know, where Obama lives, Might as well confiscate also Obama's house, temporarily speaking, as the Constitution allows the federal government to confiscate for public use your house. Of course, with just compensation, but nonetheless, the government can't do that. Or is that a gross misunderstanding of how far it could take it? In which case, Democrats will have to sue in court, which may take some time, but that's what you've been doing all this time. I guess it's fair to do the same to you. Anyway, so this is what I'm suggesting. Take these illegal aliens, put them into the Democrat-run Martha's Vineyard, well-affluent, rich areas, and now you're gonna have all the homeless people in your areas. You're gonna have to deal with all this crap that America's citizens had to deal with. Now you're gonna have to live with the consequences of your own actions. I think that's fair. I really do think that's fair. And I'm not one for fairness. I think in terms of justice, not in fairness. But if we are going to go by the metric of being fair, I think that is incredibly fair. And it'll finally give them a perspective on the American people. They'll finally start getting it because there's no other way they'll start getting it. They need to suffer the consequences of their own actions. One of the things that makes a liberal fundamentally liberal is that they don't have to live with the consequences of their own actions, or that they will perceive the consequences of their own actions as being consequences of conservative actions, and then they have a scapegoat to blame for all their troubles. But that is what makes a liberal, that they don't suffer or they're not responsible for anything that happens. So forcing them to, you voted for this, you voted for more illegal immigration, you voted for against the wall, you voted for all these terrible things that, your American citizens, your fellow citizens had to suffer. You know what? How about you suffer a little bit? How about you start to understand it? We're going to put you in the shoes of these hardworking, middle-class American citizens. How about that? How about you suffered the way these Americans suffered the pain? How about you have some pain? So we're going to send you all these illegal immigrants or even legal immigrants, and they're going to be in your towns, and they're going to trash it. They're going to trash it, litter all over the place, and let's see how these sanctuary cities, like Martha's Vineyard, fares. And I'm not talking about what Ron DeSantis did, sending over a bus of 50 illegal aliens and then they're deported by bringing out the National Guard. No, Trump should nationalize the National Guard from Maryland, I guess it is. Nationalize the National Guard, and so they can't do anything about it. Just have the National Guard there to protect the illegal aliens or whatever. You're not going to live here. And go to those hotels, put them up in hotels in Martha's Vineyard, and take off some of these summer houses. Illegal aliens live there. Now, of course, we're going to just compensate. We're going to do things constitutionally or close as to the Constitution as we can, but nonetheless, you're not going to suffer. You're going to suffer. You don't like that illegal aliens are in your house? Guess what? Too bad. Too bad. Maybe you shouldn't have voted for it. Watch how fast these liberals say, no, 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 this is terrible. Oh, wait, what happened? What the effing hell happened? Explain yourself. They can't really explain themselves. It'll be so freaking funny. It'll be funny. For if anything else, it'll just be amusing watching liberals squirm, but nonetheless, it'll also be beneficial. Finally, you're gonna get liberals on your side and say, "Oh, we need a wall." Oh, suddenly we do need a wall. All these rich liberal bastards who have been donating to the Democrat Party will suddenly find themselves forcing the Democrat Party to be pro a wall. That's how you get the votes, basically. Suddenly they're going to be pro-immigration, deportation of illegal immigration. What happened? What happened, liberals? Put all these nasty people, and I'm talking about nasty people from the immigrant community, illegal immigrants who are, they are driving the premiums on car insurance up in these towns because they crash everywhere. That's real. That is the thing that happens. Now these American citizens need to suffer because illegal aliens or even legal immigrants are now, you know, causing premiums to go up. The schools now need to teach their language classes in order to assimilate them. They never assimilate, but to assimilate them. So now we need, okay, your class, where you send your rich kids into rich schools, yeah, they're not gonna have a lot of illegal immigrants, a lot of children there, and they're gonna have to slow down. They're gonna have to, readjust. What, are you bigoted? Are you bigoted? Are you freaking bigoted, liberal? What happened? What happened, liberal? Suddenly you're faced with the consequences of your own actions, and suddenly you don't want to live this life? Okay. That's the only way. There is no other way. Do I want to cause pain for these liberals who have, done this to fellow American citizens? Yes. Yes. I want to make them suffer. I want to make them feel pain. I really want to see them cry. I want to see them cry. I want to see them shout, and I will not let go for 1 month. You're going to have this trash for 1 month. I want to see you cry, suffer, bitch, moan, whatever the hell it is. I don't care. I don't freaking care for you. You evil bastards. There are American citizens out there suffering, yet for suddenly, when you're gonna cry and bitch, moan, and complain, now we're gonna have to care about it? No. F you. F your community. F everything that you stand for. You hate the American middle class. You hate Americans. You hate hard-working people. You hate them. You are actively replacing them and calling them racist or whatever nasty word you can come up with when they complain about it, when they say that this is not fair, this is unjustifiable. You have the gall to attack these good, hard-working American citizens? You have the gall? You know what? F you. I have zero empathy for these people. I want to make them suffer the way they made other people suffer. Call me heartless, call me whatever. You never call those bastards heartless now, do you? Only when I suggest, you know what, maybe they should suffer the way other people suffered. Maybe then they'll finally get it. Because there's no other way they're going to get it. How many persuasive, full-throated arguments we have made, we have put out there. It's available, these things. They can look these things up, but yet they never actually fall in line. They never actually really argue with us. This is how it's going to be. You just have to, this is how it's going to be for you guys. They just made that decision. And there's no questioning it. We have argued, we have complained, we have bitched, we have moaned, we have done everything, we have exhausted every other metric, every other thing we have done to try to get them to understand that they still don't understand. But yet, this one thing, make them suffer the way other people have suffered, that is not even discussed. It's don't even mention it in polite society. No, you can't make these people suffer. You can't do that to them. No, don't do that. And is it kind of like revenge or something? Is that revenge? You bet your ass it's revenge. And it's well deserved. But you don't have to do it for revenge. Personally, in my personal capacity, I want to have revenge against these bastards. But it doesn't have to be about revenge if you're uncomfortable with the word revenge, as I understand a lot of people are. They could just be a way to make them understand. They have to learn their lesson. Like little children, what they are. They're like little children. They need to learn the lesson. They're gonna whine, they're gonna throw a tantrum. We should not care. You did this to American citizens for years without end. You don't care for Lincoln Riley is died. You don't care for all the thousands of Americans that have died. You don't care for for hundreds of thousands of American citizens who have died from fentanyl overdoses. You don't care about these because these things don't happen in your community. You have to suffer. And no matter, and by the way, this is the funny thing about this. All that I'm suggesting is not even close to what American citizens have suffered. I'm saying just suffer a little bit what everybody else had to go through. And yet, even the suggestion is immediately, in certain circles, thrown out as No, it's evil, it's nasty. No, we can't even do it. No, we can't even discuss it. Doesn't make any freaking sense. This entire conversation doesn't really make any freaking sense. They need to suffer. There's no other way to go around this. We've tried politely, we really did. If there's another way to go about this, to get them on board, to get them to repent or whatever, I'm on board. I'm open to suggestions. But none of you can actually give me a good suggestion, a foolproof plan that'll work. This is foolproof. This is well thought through. This is a good idea. Just plain and simple. It is a good idea. Now, legally speaking, oh, there may be some problems, but we're not discussing legally speaking. We're not discussing that. You know why? Because nothing in this country we're discussing legally speaking. Everybody does what they want. The parties will do whatever the hell they want. They will screw the American citizens. They don't care about the Constitution, about anything else. And anybody who does care about the Constitution are too afraid to do anything. Because the Constitution doesn't allow me to do this. Like, get a grip. As a Machiavellian, and I know in certain most people are immediately put off by that word, Machiavellian, because Machiavelli is terrible, even though they never actually read Machiavelli, but they've been said, yeah, they've been told you have to hate Machiavelli. You have no freaking clue what he said, but yeah, you gotta hate him. Okay, fine, sure, retard. Please, just if you use the word Machiavellian in a negative term, unironically, please reassess everything that you've been taught, because that's such a retarded statement. You have no idea who this guy is and how brilliant he was. As a Machiavellian, you have to do good to your citizens. You have to create stability, and you have to do good for your citizens. Whatever creates the most flourishing, that is the best course of action to take. Sometimes the creation of most flourishing and the most stability to come out of action is sometimes painful, and it hurts, and it creates suffering. Sometimes. Therefore, this has to be done. If there's any other suggestions, I'm open, but I bet your ass you can't actually make a good argument on how we get liberal elites in these high affluent neighborhoods who have been voting for this, donating to these campaigns, and have been ignoring it, calling you racist, evil Nazi bastards for all this time. How to get them to suddenly switch sides and be like, yes, actually a wall is important. Yes, I understand that you're being replaced and that is unacceptable. Yes, we need to stop this illegal immigration flow. Yes, the crime is unbearable. Yes, we need to protect people such as Laken Riley. We need to do all these things because we are Americans, and even though we disagree politically on economics or other things, yes, I still love America. How the hell are you going to get them to switch to that? You have no clue. I'm laying out a plan. Criticize it. Fair enough. Everybody's free to criticize this. Criticize it. But at least consider it. Think about it. Criticize it where it counts sufficiently and substantively. Fair enough. I'm out.